You had chosen medicine because you thought that you would enjoy it, but आपको end में लगा कि नहीं, it is not giving me that kind of satisfaction.
That super specialization sort of kills the joy of medicine.
आपने करी है KGMU से. It's infamous for its toxicity. How were your days there? Like especially the first year.
MD medicine in KGMC is hell on earth.
चुड़ी consultant सबने आके पट्टी बांध रखी थी.
Yeah, sir. That is true for the entire medical community, sir. That is the unfortunate thing.
What were the challenges you faced in this branch, medicine in broad aspect, for being a woman?
That I still face every day.
क्या advice रहेगी to a new JR1 joining medicine?
Keep your expectations very low.
You gave the NEET SS exam. Why nephro?
The driving factor was love for medicine, and nephrology was the closest to being an internist.
पहले तो MBBS को GP कहा जाता था ना,
Yes.
अब MD medicine को GP कहा जा रहा है.
Yeah.
The myth that we are going around.
Basically, I think it's become sort of like a mass delusion.
So if you had to go back and if you could change your branch, would you? Hey guys, welcome to the Nachiket Bhatia show. This episode is completely dedicated to our audience requests. You asked for a young doctor who will share her struggles with you, who will show you what is the real toxicity in today's world. Is medicine worth doing? And the financial dream that the world has shown to us, is that a truth or a myth? She's a consultant in the Department of Nephrology in Fortis Hospital, Vasant Kunj. She's an MBBS from Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur, followed by MD in General Medicine from KGMU, Lucknow, and DM in Nephrology from Gujarat University. Her advanced credentials include FASN, SCE in Nephrology, and FRCP England, underscoring her commitment to clinical excellence and academic advancements in nephrology. We have discussed every aspect of medicine, toxicity, nephrology, and today's scenario. So let's put our hands together and let's welcome Dr. Sanskriti Chauhan. Welcome Dr. Sanskriti to Nachiket Bhatia show.
Thank you, sir.
So, ma'am, you have done nephrology. We are going to discuss the field in detail, but I would like to know everything about you. How did you enter into the world of medicine?
So into the world of medicine, I would say both my parents are doctors. My mother is an anatomist. She's the professor and head at UCMS GTB. And my dad is a consultant physician. He has a background of medicine. Throughout my childhood, both my parents, like most middle-class Indian doctor families, struggled. And I used to fantasize about their struggle. So, the long hours that they were not at home, they were working. I sort of wanted that kind of life for myself, to be able to work that much. And so a large part of why I chose medicine, I think I would say I was drawn to it because of my father. It's not that he pushed me into it, but I wanted to live a life probably which was very similar to his life. Secondly, I would say that I am good with people. I have a way of getting to know people. And a large part of your profession, medicine at least, is at least in this day and age, is how well you're able to connect to the patient. So I think connection was not a problem for me. So I think that also drew me towards medicine. And then just in general, I am very, very fond of learning. I was very good in biology. I was a very good student. So medicine, I think I was just naturally inclined to take.
You did your MBBS from GSVM.
So it was from UP Rimzanar, which was affiliated to the CSJMU University, Kanpur, yes.
So when you were planning to, do your NEET PG and everything, what was the reason behind medicine apart from your parents?
So again, huge influence of my father, huge. He had done medicine and I remember in standard 8th, I used to sit at his clinic and I used to read Davidson just for fun. Just for fun. Who does that? So I used to find it very, very enjoyable. So like we spoke a little bit before this and you said that you were naturally inclined for business. I was naturally inclined for medicine. It was just, I knew it was something I would be good at.
So if you had to go back and if you could change your branch, would you?
I would probably do psychiatry. which was my first love. And I would again do some sort of sub-specialization in psychiatry for child psychiatry and psychology.
So why would you leave medicine and why would you choose psychiatry?
Why would I leave medicine? I think there was a little bit of misplaced, what would you say, misplaced aspiration, I would say. And, you know, a lot of it was sold to us, our generation, that once you do medicine, you know, you are at the, in the elite group. So people my generation were told that, you know, specialities like radiology, orthopedics and medicine are the top specialities. So if you have a rank that gets you to choose these specialities, you should. So it would have taken a lot of courage to choose psychiatry at my rank when I was getting medicine at a very good college in NEET PG. Again, the perception around psychiatry, not today, not with the current generation, but my generation, around my generation was that, you know, ये तो पागलों का profession है. So, and I would not like to say this, but this is true. My family also had a role to play in it, because they also had a similar kind of perception that who leaves medicine for psychiatry. I think if I would have had a little bit of support and just somebody to just push me in that direction, just one person, I would have taken psychiatry. And I would have been a very good psychiatrist. Not that I'm not a good internist, but I would have been a good psychiatrist. It would have been my calling. It is my calling, I think.
So medicine, agar like you had chosen medicine because you thought that you would enjoy it, but आपको end में लगा कि नहीं, it is not giving me that kind of satisfaction जो शायद मुझे कोई और profession दे सकता, maybe psychiatry दे पाता.
It's not that I do not derive joy out of it. I'll tell you. The thing again with our generation is, and probably started say 10 years before my generation, my lot, medicine पे ही अगर बात रुक जाती, if it was just medicine, I would have loved it. I love internal medicine. I love everything about it. I love all specialities. It was a very tough pick for me to choose two subjects in which I could give my NEET entrance for DM, and I cleared both those. But it was a very tough call because I loved it. I loved it to the core. I loved everything about it. I could spend hours reading Harrison, hours, and I would be enchanted like a kid in a toy store. So for me, if I would have just left it at internal medicine, I would have been happy. Instead, it became the need of the hour to choose a super specialization, so to speak. Now, super specialization mein problem kya hai, that even if you want your communication from all other specialities, from all other aspects of medicine get cut. And that is sort of a problem now, because anybody who is a good internist will know that super specialization sort of kills the joy of medicine. Because आप एक ही सब स्पेशलिटी में नीश कर रहे हो,
बस जाते हो,
और आप चाह के भी दूसरी स्पेशलिटी को छू नहीं सकते, because you know the kind of patient population that you're getting, the kind of people you're getting, they will be like, this is not your domain. We are consulting a cardiologist or a gastroenterologist or a rheumatologist or an endocrinologist for this. So you become very limited in terms of what you can and cannot do, and I don't think I enjoy that part. It's not the money part. It's not the. It's just the kind of satisfaction you get at the end of the day when you see a patient. Super specialization sort of limits your, at least for me and for people like me who have the same kind of mindset, it would limit their satisfaction that they get out of the profession.
तो अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि क्या-क्या फैक्टर्स थे कि आपको ऐसा लगा कि यार नहीं, एसएस तो करनी पड़ेगी?
Truly speaking, SS करनी पड़ेगी. A lot of it was from the family. My parents in particular, my father in particular. You could not just be an internist. Nobody in my generation who's done MD in medicine or DNB in medicine would say that, you know, they would have the courage to leave it there, A. B, they would be told by people or peers around them that this is enough, you don't need to go ahead with a super specialization. So a lot of it was family, but I think a lot of it was peer driven also. Everybody was doing it, so I also had to do it. How could I not do it? What would I do with internal medicine? And then the longer I would delay it, the harder it would get, because the competition would get insanely tough. So the compelling factor was family and peer pressure.
I like the fact that you're very honest.
Thank you.
Seriously, I think हमारी ऑडियंस का हमने एक सर्वे किया था छोटा सा. आई गॉट मोर देन 500 मैसेजेस. तो सबने हमें कहा कि यंग डॉक्टर्स की हमें स्ट्रगल सुननी है. स्ट्रगल सुननी है.
It's a big struggle.
And people tend to be diplomatic when they come here. But I'm glad you are being honest, because this is the reality that half of 80% of them are going through. इसीलिए शायद ऐसे सुपर स्पेशलिटी में जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि दुनिया कह रही है कि कर लो
ये नहीं करोगे तो क्या करोगे.
हाँ, वरना जीपी बन के रह जाओगे.
Exactly. What is so wrong in being a GP?
पहले तो एमबीबीएस को जीपी कहा जाता था ना.
Yes.
अब एमडी मेडिसिन को जीपी कहा जा रहा है.
Yes.
This is the problem. This is the myth that we are going around.
Basically, I think it's become sort of like a mass delusion.
Yeah. तो आपको लगता है कि आने वाले टाइम में जीपी की वैल्यू रहेगी?
मुझे लगता है जीपी की वैल्यू जैसे जैसे सुपर स्पेशलाइजेशन और बढ़ेगी, लाइक now super specialization is the norm. It's not like niche anymore. It's a norm. You have to do super specialization. I think the value of a GP would increase in the future, because see, I'll tell you, जो patients हैं, especially what I have seen in my limited experience, especially जो elderly patients हैं, say 60 plus, they get frustrated. कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट नेफ्रोलॉजिस्ट के पास भेज रहे हैं, नेफ्रोलॉजिस्ट एंडोक्राइनोलॉजिस्ट के पास भेज रहे हैं, कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट कह रहे हैं क्रिएटिनिन बढ़ रहा है, हमारी दवाई हमें नहीं पता क्यों बढ़ रहा है, दिख रहा है कार्डियोरीनल सिंड्रोम है, कह रहे हैं नेफ्रोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाओ. नेफ्रोलॉजिस्ट कह रहे हैं भाई आप डायबिटिक और हाइपरटेंसिव हो, मैं आपको किडनी की दवाई दूंगा, आप एंडोक्राइनोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाओ. एंडोक्राइनोलॉजिस्ट तो एक इंसान को ऐसा पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दिया गया है, ये देख रहे हैं, ये देख रहे हैं, ये देख रहे हैं. एंड आई थिंक इट फ्रस्ट्रेट्स देम, इट रियली फ्रस्ट्रेट्स देम दैट दे हैव टू कंसल्ट सो मेनी पीपल फॉर लाइक अ जेन्युइन प्रॉब्लम. नाउ इसके भी दो एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. मेडिको लीगली now there are a list of do's and don'ts that every super specialist can do. So cardiologist is right in sending to a nephrologist if the kidney function is getting bad or worse, because otherwise they can be medico-legally reprimanded for it. But you look at from the patient's angle, no, they are having to sit endless number of hours waiting in the OPD for 3 different specialists for a problem a GP could have fixed, controlling the diabetes, the blood pressure, for say after a level referrals to cardiology and nephrology. But again, it has been taken, the rules, the do's and don'ts for a GP are so strict now that even they are well within their rights to refer to all of these specialities. So I think that a patient would be much more comfortable if one doctor could fix all their problems. And I think in the time to come, a GP would probably have more value, because they would be niche as against the norm, as compared to super specialists. I think that would happen eventually, say maybe 2 decades down the line.
So जब आपने you gave the NEET SS exam, right? So why nephro? Again,
this has got to do a lot with, so I am a very, I would say this at the front, I have not chosen this speciality, not super speciality. I have not chosen medicine as a speciality for money. I am deeply passionate about it, deeply. A lot of the credit goes to my father. He is a deeply passionate person about medicine. He has always been there for his patients. His patients have been his priority. So a lot of it has come from him, I would say. But I would say that I had 2 choices. I was stuck between cardiology and nephrology. I cleared the entrance for both. I was getting cardiology in KGMC itself. Nephrology, I think I chose because it is the closest to medicine, closest to being an internal medicine. It keeps you connected to all branches, whether it's cardiology, hepatology, neurology, endocrinology, rheumatology. Everything gets connected. So basically, I think that a good nephrologist is somebody who's a good internist with probably specialization in dialysis and transplant. Those are the only two niche things in nephrology which are different from internal medicine. So the choice I had to make was between cardiology and nephrology. I am naturally an aggressive person, so cardiology was something that came naturally to me because I like to do interventions. I like to be very, very aggressive in terms of treatment, and cardiology is like that. Nephrology is like a bit of a sit back. You've done something, wait. Response will come. It will come, but it's a waiting game. Nephrology requires a lot of patience. So it was a difficult choice, but I think the driving factor was love for medicine, and nephrology was the closest to being an internist, staying an internist.
But cardiology तो आपकी traits को match करता था फिर भी.
So the aggression in nephrology has been channelized fruitfully. I am aggressive in certain aspects of nephrology where I feel like some of my colleagues or some of my seniors would not be. If you speak to nephrologists in general, I would say, I don't know if you've spoken to anyone before, if they've been on your podcast, or in general, if in your group there is a nephrologist, you will see that nephrologists, when compared to cardiologists, are gentle or gentler. There are very few aggressive nephrologists who will push for their therapy, who will push for a treatment choice, who will push for a treatment protocol. So that aggression, I think, has just channelized into me pushing for things that I feel would benefit the patient in question. But yes, it was a tough choice. I'll be honest. It was a very tough choice. One was choosing between passion and the other, passion and love, I would say. I went for love for internal medicine. I left the passion part aside.
थोड़ा सा डिवाइड करते हैं. Let's go to your medicine days.
Yeah.
आपने करी है KGMU से.
हाँ.
It's infamous for its toxicity to residents.
Oh yes.
तो आप honestly बताना, how were your days there? Like especially the first year.
Okay, so I'll be honest. So जब आप जाते हो करने, so the first day you have to go for all these medicals, right? So KGMC is a huge campus, beautiful campus, huge campus in Old Lucknow, Shahmina Bazaar. So डेंटल कैंपस की अलग बिल्डिंग थी, डेंटल ऑब्स गाइनी की अलग बिल्डिंग थी फ्रॉम द मेन कैंपस. सो आई हैड गॉन टू द डेंटल डिपार्टमेंट टू गेट माई मेडिकल. तो वहाँ के जो सर हैं, he just called me aside. I was like, I'm thin and I'm like short. So naturally if you say phenotypically, I'm not like the proper person who can do medicine from KGMC. I didn't know that, but probably he thought that. So he called me aside and he said, Beta, MD medicine in KGMC is hell on earth. You will not be able to survive it. इसको छोड़ दो. तो मुझे समझ नहीं आया. My dad was with me. I said, मैं तो वैसे ही इतनी डरी हुई थी because I had been told that it's a toxic place like you're saying, and I didn't know what toxicity to imagine. So I had a word with my dad. Even my dad did not know it would be so toxic. My dad has done MD from Safdarjung and MBBS from Maulana, so he had never faced this toxicity, and he said, "नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा." Cut to when it started. It was my worst fears imagined, multiplied by, I think, 1 crore, I would say. I don't know how I came out of it alive. I don't know how anyone comes out of it alive. It was ruthless, merciless. Now, in retrospect, I think it has made me a much more resilient person. But when I was living it, it was worse than hell on earth. We used to have duties starting from 6:30 in the morning till say, so my first posting was in the HDU. They used to end at about 3:30 in the morning. We were allowed to go to our hostels for about say 2 to 3 hours. उस पे सोना है, नहाना है, खाना है, तुमको वॉशरूम यूज़ करना है, जो करना है कर लो. वो 3 घंटे तुम्हारे हैं. You have to come back to duty at 6:30 next morning. This was the HDU duty. The ward duties were like, come to the ward at 7 a.m. in the morning. When your duty finishes at about 7 in the evening, go to trauma center, do the emergency, get free at about 3 or 4 in the morning, filling the case files, seeing the patients, taking samples, etc. Go back to the ward at 7 in the morning and start your shift. This went on for about a year. The first year is like that.
तो ये जो 24 घंटे की ड्यूटी थी आपकी ऑलमोस्ट वार्ड में,
24 से ऊपर ही हो गया ना, बिकॉज यू आर गोइंग टू योर रूम फॉर अबाउट 2-3 आवर्स इफ़ यू हैव अ रूम. मोस्ट ऑफ अस यूज टू स्लीप इन द वार्ड ओनली. अब 2-3 घंटे के लिए कमरे में कौन जाएगा, और जाने में टाइम वेस्ट हो जाएगा.
तो बेसिकली आप 7 बजे से सुबह 7 बजे से रात के 4 बजे तक काम कर रहे हो,
एंड देन 7 बजे वापस आ रहे. या एंड दिस वाज 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
फर्स्ट ईयर पूरा यही हुआ है?
Most of the first year was like this. In our case, unfortunately, there was a problem going on in UP.
Yeah.
So there had been a case. UP Provincial Medical Services के candidates को allow किया गया था that after they have served a certain number of years in the provincial services, they would be allowed to get seats in MD. And the NEET PG people the aspirants had filed a case. So हमारे केस में it was even worse because normally KGMC used to take 15 internal medicine candidates. हमारे केस में because the case was going on, only 50%, so only 7 candidates came from AIPG. उस टाइम पे AIPG था, from AIPG 8 candidates थे ही नहीं. So हमारी duties were even worse than that. बिकॉज 15 कैंडिडेट्स में जब ड्यूटीज़ डिवाइड होती हैं तो तुमको 3-4 घंटे मिल जाते हैं. जब 7 कैंडिडेट्स हैं तो उस केस में तो वी वर जस्ट, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग आई डोंट नो हाउ आई सर्वाइव्ड इट. इट वाज प्रॉब्ली जस्ट गॉड.
एंड लेट्स सपोज इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू शो अप फॉर द ड्यूटी, फिर क्या होता था?
They used to hunt you down, the seniors. I don't blame them. Workload इतना ज़्यादा था, unlimited admissions हैं. I don't blame them one bit. So they used to hunt you down. Your hostels were raided. Seniors came to your room to find out where you were. If you were not there, you were contacted on the phone. And there was a word which was used if you had absconded. Then when you came back, you were severely reprimanded. Like
कैसे? बता रहे तो पूरा बताओ.
यूनिक था. तो एक चीज़ जो मुझे KGMC के बारे में अच्छी लगती है, कोई जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं थी. Me and there was another female. We were 2 females in our batch. We were given the same treatment जो हमारे मेल कॉलीग्स को मिलता था. कोई ऐसा नहीं था कि आपके लिए कोई रूल्स डिफरेंट थे, आपको डांट डिफरेंट पड़ेगी, आपको गाली नहीं पड़ेगी, आपको मार नहीं पड़ेगी. सब सेम, बिल्कुल सेम, कोई जेंडर डिस्पैरिटी नहीं.
वहाँ बहन की गाली पड़ती थी?
Oh yeah, all everything. And in the middle of the ward, your third year, your senior, the most toxic senior, and I'm not going to name him, but the most toxic senior would come, abuse you in the middle of the ward in front of all the patients, and tell you that you are a weakling for having run away from duty when you knew that this is going to be your life. That when everyone is doing these number of hours and they have done this number of hours, you are no different, you are not special, there will be no excuses, and rules are not going to be different because you're a girl or a boy, or because you've recently joined, or because you don't know that residency can be this tough. If you don't want to do this, quit, get somebody else who can do it. You are here to do the work, do your work. And you have to work like a laborer because that is the rule of the land. And you unfortunately are under a ruler. So follow the rule. Rules will not change for you. You are not special.
ये सब हिंदी में हो रहा है?
ये सब हिंदी में हो रहा है. ये सब हिंदी में हो रहा है. फिजिकल मैन हैंडलिंग हो रही है. आपकी एक्स्ट्रा ड्यूटी लगाई जाती है उसके बाद. वो 3 घंटे जो आपके हैं आपको वो भी नहीं दिए जाते. बिकॉज यू रन अवे. आपने 1 दिन का काम नहीं किया है, या आपने 2 दिन का काम नहीं किया है, आपके दूसरे किसी बैचमेट ने किया है. सी यू हैव टू रियलाइज, आप काम नहीं करोगे तो आपका बैचमेट काम करेगा. वो थोड़ा ना काम करने वाले हैं आपके सीनियर, वो तो आपके बैचमेट को करना है. तो वो बेचारा जो ऑलरेडी 3 घंटे की नींद पे या 3 घंटे की जीवन पे सर्वाइव कर रहा है, उससे आपने वो भी ले लिया. तो अब आपकी बैंड बजेगी. अब आपको यू हैव टू पे द प्राइस फॉर व्हाट यू हैव डन.
मारते थे कभी कभी?
हाँ, so I have been manhandled just once, but some of my colleagues were hit. Yes, physically hit. Yeah, physically hit. Yeah.
कभी लगा कि rebellion भी हो सकता है?
Rebellion होता था, but it's like a well-oiled machine. आपने अगर rebellion किया तो पूरा का पूरा सिस्टम ऐसे डिजाइंड है, बिकॉज सब KGMC alumnus हैं, सब उसी सिस्टम से गुजरे हैं. तो they realize it's not different, it's not special. आप अकेले बैच थोड़े ना हो जो प्रताड़ित हो रहा है, आपसे पहले भी हुए, आपके बाद भी होंगे। आपने ये चॉइस करी है कि आप यहाँ से रेजिडेंसी करो, आपको किसी ने फोर्स नहीं किया। अगेन, दिस इज द रूल ऑफ द लैंड, यू हैव टू फॉलो इट। इट्स सच अ वेल ऑयल्ड मशीन दैट अगर आप करोगे भी तो आपके अगेंस्ट इतने लोग खड़े होंगे, इंक्लूडिंग सम वेरी टॉप पीपल फ्रॉम द टीचिंग डिपार्टमेंट इटसेल्फ, दैट वो आपके अगेंस्ट 10 चीज़ें बोल देंगे। योर वर्किंग स्टाइल, द वे यू ड्रॉ सैम्पल्स, द वे यू सी पेशेंट्स, and so what will you do when the entire system is against you? You cannot do anything. You have to fall in line or leave.
और HOD कंसल्टेंट सबने आंखें में पट्टी बांध रखी थी।
Yeah, they are all KGMC alumnus. They have gone through the same, probably worse. So for them, it was nothing. It was a usual day at work.
आपको कभी लगा कि वो टॉक्सिसिटी प्रमोट करते हैं?
That is true for the entire medical community, sir. That is the unfortunate thing. हमारे कंट्री में in general लीडरशिप माइंडसेट नहीं है। लीडरशिप छोड़ो, हमारी कंट्री में मेंटरशिप माइंडसेट नहीं है, विच इज़ समथिंग दैट वी शुड लर्न फ्रॉम द डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज लाइक US एंड UK एंड यूरोप। वहाँ मेंटरशिप माइंडसेट है। जब आपके पास इतना आ जाता है, नॉलेज, मनी, एक्सपीरियंस, फेम, आप देना चाहते हो, यू वॉन्ट टू गिव बैक, एंड द बेस्ट वे टू डू इट इज बाय मेंटरिंग somebody. It is such a satisfying feeling to be able to give back, किसी को बढ़ते हुए देख के। We unfortunately, probably because of our colonial past, probably because we have always been invaded and looted, that we are always like in that mindset कि everything and everyone is our competitor. तो एक 50 साल के इंसान को एक 20 साल के एंट्रेंट से कंपटीशन फील होगा। They will feel insecure of their place in the world by somebody who's just taken birth into practice. They are insecure of their place in the society, not only because of their peers, not only because of their seniors, but also somebody who's just entering practice. So we as a community are like that. So toxicity, I would say, is then it is not promoted, it is just inculcated. It is just like, it is so cerebral that we have gone through this, you must go through this.
अग्नि परीक्षा है।
हाँ, you have to take the test. If you pass it, pass it. If you don't pass it, you are not meant for it. You are a weakling. Get out. So many people, they resign within the first 2-3 months of their residency in medicine, ortho, surgery. Those are the 3 most difficult branches from KGMC, I would say. All branches are difficult, but ortho and medicine, I would say, are the most tough branches. They just resign. They can't take it. And I would say that it is a very, very courageous choice to make, to not succumb to that toxicity out of pressure, that log kya kahenge mere bare mein, that I was not able to live up to the expectations, I was not able to take pressure. It is unbearable pressure, and that pressure has some real downsides, because आपके अंदर की थोड़ी बहुत ह्यूमैनिटी आई थिंक मर जाती है।
कोई कभी आपने देखा कि आपका बैचमेट हो जो कंप्लेंट लेके गया HOD के पास कि मेरे साथ गलत हो रहा है?
Yeah, we as a batch went, our seniors as a batch went, but they were silently told that if you take this, escalate this, you will be there will be consequences, real consequences. So go back, keep your head down, do your work. 3 साल हो यहाँ पे, रेजिडेंसी करो, नेतागिरी मत करो। That is what we were told and we did it.
चलो आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ, ऑनेस्ट आंसर देना। जब आप सेकंड ईयर में आए,
आपने टॉक्सिसिटी प्रमोट करी?
Yes.
I did what was done to me. I think I'm not in touch with a lot of my juniors. I think I was known as a very toxic senior, very, very toxic senior. I'm not saying that I derive joy out of it, but I would say I was an accomplice. I committed the same crime that my seniors did. I was not a better senior. I was a slightly better senior sometimes, but most of the times I was not.
Is it because that you are so, मतलब कि फर्स्ट ईयर में आदमी इतना डेड हो जाता है अंदर से कि
मैंने बोला ना, there is a downside to it. जब आप इतना काम कर रहे होते हो, आपके अंदर की इंसानियत चली जाती है, वो चली ही जाएगी। See, when you talk to a criminal, why do they commit crime? Because there is something, the humanity in them is dead. They don't see the other person as a person with rights. इसके कोई अधिकार हैं. Most of the criminals are from marginalized sections of the society, जिनकी लड़ाई रोटी कपड़ा मकान नींद necessities की है. तो जब आप बेसिक चीज़ों के लिए लड़ोगे, जो आपके जो नीड्स के ऊपर की चीज़ें हैं, जो रिफाइंड थिंकिंग है, वो आएगी नहीं. सो फर्स्ट ईयर इन मोस्ट गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेजेस इज़ लाइक दैट. आपको स्लीप नहीं मिल रही, नहाने को नहीं मिल रहा, खाने को नहीं मिल रहा, दोस्त यार कोई है नहीं, घर परिवार से कोई रिश्ता नहीं है, काम करे जा रहे हो 24 घंटे, उसके बाद भी डांट पड़ रही है. देयर इज़ नो अप्रिसिएशन. You sort of, a part of you dies there, like a part of a human in you dies there, and you're very young, very impressionable जब ये सब हो रहा होता है. So I think that kills a little bit of humanity in you. तो जो सीनियर्स ऐसे नहीं होते, जो सीनियर्स एक्चुअली ये कल्चर प्रोपोगेट नहीं करते, they are I would say very brave, and they are very very good human beings. मतलब to keep that humanity inside you intact, despite the adversities that you're facing as a human being, as a single human being, it's very difficult.
I mean, I'll ask you this first as the first question: ki doing MD medicine from a private college, is it worth it?
Again, sir, worth it would depend a lot on what you think you are worth. Dusra, it would depend on what your expectations are out of life and out of that residency. So if you are, say, passionate about MD medicine, I'm just giving that example because I have done MD medicine. So अगर आपको मान लो 1 करोड़ की सीट मिल रही है MD medicine की, आपने कर ली MD medicine 1 करोड़. अगर आपका reason for doing MD medicine is so that it looks good on paper, you know, so that people around you say, oh, he's done medicine, because there's a certain charm and a certain, you know, glory associated with it. If that is the reason, so you will never care about how much you're earning at the end of giving that 1 CR for doing residency. Because to you only the glory and the charm of medicine, the name MD medicine, the tag matters. If you're doing it because you know that in tier 2, tier 3 cities, MD medicine will get you a good amount of money just after having graduated as a general physician, or if you're doing it for money, then if you are in a tier 2, tier 3 city, if you have to go back there, I would say it is still justified, because you would eventually be able to get a return on this investment, maybe more. But in tier 1 cities, not worth it, especially if you're doing it to ultimately earn money. I wouldn't say it's worth it. There are easier and better ways of earning money.
And what would you say to people who are taking a loan to do MD medicine?
If you're taking a loan worth, एक तो 1 करोड़ में मेडिसिन अब होती नहीं है. The current market value would be somewhere between 2.5, 3 CR. You know, if you're doing medicine, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for your parents? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for the charm, the glory? Are you doing it for money? Have your why very clear. ठीक है. अगर पेरेंट्स की वजह से कर रहे हो, या सोसाइटी ड्रिवन है, ग्लोरी चाहिए, चार्म चाहिए, यू नो, यू वांट दैट टैग दैट आई हैव डन MD मेडिसिन, देन डू इट. बिकॉज फिर 3 करोड़ के या 5 करोड़ भी मैटर नहीं करते. ठीक है, आपके मॉम डैड को भी इन्वेस्ट करने में बुरा नहीं लगेगा. एक तरीके से उनकी पुश की वजह से ही शायद आप कर रहे हो, और आप उसको जस्टिफाई कर ले जाओगे अपने ब्रेन में कि भाई दिस लुक्स गुड. अगर मनी के लिए कर रहे हो, अगर ये लगता है कि मेडिसिन अभी 5 करोड़ 3 करोड़ दूंगा, अभी करूँगा, तो आगे जाके यू नो आई विल गेन मोर आउट ऑफ इट, या मुझे और पैसे मिलेंगे, आई विल बी, इसको तो मैं 1 साल में या 2 साल में मैं वो कर लूँगा. नेवर. बिकॉज मनी नहीं है ना उतना एट द एंड ऑफ मेडिसिन. एंड देन यू हैव टू रियलाइज दैट मेडिसिन इज नॉट एन एंड ब्रांच. देन कम्स द गेम ऑफ सुपर स्पेशलिटी. फिर क्या करोगे? फिर और 3 करोड़ दोगे, या 5 करोड़ दोगे, या 6 करोड़ दोगे, फिर उसका EMI दोगे. तो दिस विल बिकम यू विल जस्ट ड्राउन योर सेल्फ इन लोन्स. इफ यू आर डूइंग इट फॉर मनी, डोंट डू इट. यू विल जस्ट ड्राउन योर सेल्फ इन लोन्स. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली, you will not get satisfaction or pleasure. You will not get satisfaction or pleasure if satisfaction or pleasure is coming through money. और पैसे हैं नहीं. This is not true for just nephrology or cardiology or rheumatology or endocrinology. This is true for gastroenterology, hepatology, every other branch. In the beginning of your career, as an internist or as a specialist, you will not have money. You will not have the kind of money your predecessors had. You will not have it. You should be very clear on that. You will not have it.
आपको वैसे ओपिनियन क्या आपका बॉन्ड को लेके, क्या बॉन्ड होना चाहिए वैसे कॉलेजेस के अंदर?
सी हमारी कंट्री ऐसी है जहाँ पे डिमांड कम ज़्यादा है, सप्लाई कम है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा डॉक्टर टू पेशेंट मिसमैच है. द रेशियो इज़ व्हाट अबाउट 1000 to 1. इट्स सो स्क्यूड. तो अभी सरकार भी क्या करेगी? दे हैव टू इम्प्लीमेंट अ बॉन्ड. इफ दे आर सब्सिडाइजिंग योर एजुकेशन सो मच. मैंने डीएम करी है कितना 40 1,20,000 रुपये में मैंने डीएम करी है. अगर यू गो एंड टेक अ डीएम नेफ्रोलॉजी सीट इन प्राइवेट, इट वुड कॉस्ट यू नथिंग शॉर्ट ऑफ 3-4 CR. ठीक है? And that is just the education cost, the academic cost. You leave the hostel cost and all of it aside. So अगर मैंने 1,20,000 रुपये में डीएम करी है, तो इसमें if the government wants me to serve the patient population for a year, I don't really think it's not justified. I personally don't think it's not justified. Because they have subsidized my education. I didn't have to pay anything. 40,000 is nothing for DM. And I learned so much. I learned so much and I will make so much out of that experience in the years to come. I will earn so much. Nothing apart from the tax, nothing will be going back to the government. No, I'll keep everything to myself. So why not give 1 year of your life? If you look at your life in the long run, that 1 year should be looked at as a time, or that 2 years should be looked at as a time when you should do things independently. That will help you in decision making when you practice independently, because it's all a game of confidence. All a game of confidence. How confident you are and how confident you appear to the patient sitting in front of you. You could be 60 years old or you could be 30 years old. If you're confident, your patient will come back to you. Confidence comes from experience, and experience, a bond definitely helps with experience if you do it the way it is meant to be done. So I am a little different. I don't know what other people think. I don't know what my contemporaries think. I think the bond helped me. It helped me immensely.
So अगर आपको मेडिसिन की सब स्पेशलिटीज को लिस्ट करना फ्रॉम द बेस्ट टू द वर्स्ट, आई एम वेरी वेरी फ्रैंक हियर, आज के सिनेरियो को देखते हुए, बीइंग अ यंग डॉक्टर, रेट देम all 10.
What is your rating scale like financially? You're saying?
I'm giving you all the parameters there.
Rheumatology?
On number 1?
Oh yes. Rheumatology and immunology. Immunology is going to be a game changer. I believe that immunology is going to have a separate branch on its own. Precision medicine and biologics is what medicine is headed in the direction for. A precise molecule to treat you as per your genetics, not what is being given to 1,000 other people.
Gene therapy se kehte, right?
Yes. So rheumatology and immunology, I would put at number 1. Second, I would say, for me, because I'm a bit biased, I would say nephrology. Third, I would say cardiology. Fourth, gastroenterology and hepatology. Fifth, I would say endocrinology, a very, very dry branch for me. Sixth would be, I would say would be pulmonology. Yeah.
आई थिंक आप बेस्ट पर्सन हो बताने के लिए. ये क्वेश्चन बड़ा ही पर्टिनेंट क्वेश्चन है हमारे पॉडकास्ट का कि हाउ मच कैन अ नेफ्रोलॉजिस्ट अर्न इन आवर कंट्री?
You mean a fresh pass out, or like somebody
fresh pass out? And normally I ask is the fresh pass out 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line,
30 years.
But I want to know the real numbers from you. कि आज के सिनेरियो में, all right, and guys, this is for you, for everyone. आज के सिनेरियो में कितना पैसा कमा सकते हैं?
So I think the starting salary in a corporate hospital, if you're not doing it from like once you've just passed out from in a tier 1 city like Delhi, would be anywhere between 2.2 to 2.5 lakhs a month. It all depends on how you're able to earn through other sources. So if you have an established clinic where you're seeing patients, if you're able to give in to the demands of the medical representatives, if you're writing some medicines, if you're getting cuts through investigation, it can go up by say 50,000-60,000 initially.
मतलब MR और investigations
initially yes. Initially, so I think it would be anywhere between 2.2 going up to 2.8-3 lakhs a month initially. I would say दिस इज इन टियर 1 cities. Tier 2 में थोड़ा कम होगा. So probably starting salary would be between 1.7 to 2. And of course, if you keep adding these added costs to it, so about 2.5 lakhs a month would be the starting. The unfortunate thing is this remains for 2-3 years. ऐसा नहीं है कि every साल you'll have an increment कि आज 3 लाख कमा रहे हो, अगले साल 4 कमाओगे, फिर 5 कमाओगे. वो अनरियलिस्टिक एक्सपेक्टेशन है, वो नहीं होता. वो नहीं होता. एंड यू पुटिंग टू मच प्रेशर ऑन योर सेल्फ. रीजन इज every year that you are growing, 10 other people are coming. With DNB becoming so mainstream, DNB passing rates having improved, especially in nephrology. DNB passing rates are good. 10 और nephrologist आ रहे हैं. तो जो नए नए हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, छोटे हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, वो 1.5 लाख में हायर कर लेंगे किसी को. वाई विल दे पे 2 lakhs? दे विल नॉट. So if you're expecting increments every year, that will not happen. It's going to be very staggered after a certain point in time. So going from say 2.5-3 lakhs a month, I'm telling you personally, I'm sure there are some outliers, but personally for the large majority, 2.5 लाख से या 3 लाख से बढ़कर 5 लाख तक जाने में आपको लगेंगे 3 से 5 साल, और आपको वो देने पड़ेंगे. एंड इट विल कम एट अ ह्यूज पर्सनल कॉस्ट. 5 लाख तक आप तब पहुंच पाओगे जब आप दिन के 12 से 14 घंटे काम में डिवोट कर रहे हो. काम के लिए यू विल हैव टू बी अग्रेसिव. यू पीपल विल नॉट गिव यू वर्क. यू विल हैव टू गो फाइंड वर्क. That will take a toll. It will come because time तो उतना ही है 24 घंटे. You will have to cut out from your time with friends, from your time with family, from your time with, if you have a personal life, then time from your personal life. When you invest this much, you will be able to go, you'll be able to have a 50% hike, but even that will take 3 to 5 years. If you're very lucky, 3 years. If you're like the vast majority, 5 years.
And उसके बाद क्या कैसा रहता है?
So I think in the next 10 years, once you get cemented, जब आपको पता है कि with nephrology especially, building patient takes time because disease ऐसा है, जो vast majority of patients हैं जो आते हैं, they have chronic kidney disease. So chronic kidney disease जो है वो by nature it is chronic. So it is difficult for a patient to trust a youngster with kidneys. So especially with a chronic disease, so you know patient के दिमाग में होता है that they are inherently मतलब they will not immediately trust a youngster. So building a patient base will take time, especially if you're a youngster. Patients आएंगे, एक बार consult करेंगे, चले जाएंगे, and you will feel like shit because आपके retention नहीं हो रही होगी patients की. But I think if you're good at what you do, if you have an empathetic touch in nephrology especially, अगर आप उस बीमारी की chronicity से relate करते हो, patient वापस आएगा और ये patient फिर 20 साल तक आप ही का patient होगा. तो in that way nephrology is a rewarding specialty, क्योंकि उसके बाद वो 20 साल तक patient आप ही के साथ है. तो if you're able to be a far sighted person or long sighted person, अगर आपके पास vision है तो आपको पता है कि अभी ना सही 20 साल में दिस पर्सन विल बी आई विल हैव वेल्थ, मतलब जो भी आपका गेम नंबर है, यू विल हैव दैट नंबर. बट नेफ्रोलॉजी इज अ स्पेशलिटी, विल टेक टाइम टू बिल्ड पेशेंट बेस. पेशेंट्स कम होंगे बट ईच पेशेंट विल बी मोर रिवॉर्डिंग. तो अगर एक गैस्ट्रोएंट्रोलॉजिस्ट 10 पेशेंट देखता है डायरिया के और नेफ्रोलॉजिस्ट 5 ही पेशेंट देखता है डायलिसिस के, नेफ्रोलॉजिस्ट विल अर्न मोर दैन अ गैस्ट्रोएंट्रोलॉजिस्ट. सो ओपीडी लोड थोड़ा कम होता है बट पर पेशेंट आपका जो द मनी दैट यू मेक और द फाइनेंशियल रिवॉर्ड इज मोर. दिस टेक्स टाइम बिकॉज बिल्डिंग ट्रस्ट इन नेफ्रोलॉजी इज इम्पॉर्टेंट एंड यू हैव टू इन्वेस्ट टाइम. यंगस्टर्स के साथ बात अच्छी ये है कि दे हैव टाइम बिकॉज दे हैव फ्यूअर पेशेंट्स. So you give time to one patient, make that patient trust you, and then that person will be your patient for life, which is what you want. You want each patient who is coming to you with CKD to be your patient for life. That is how it is going to be financially rewarding in nephrology. Nephrology में पैसे OPD consult से नहीं आते, investigation से नहीं आते. Nephrology के पैसे आते हैं the patient coming back again and again and again. One, B, if the disease is progressing, ultimately through dialysis or through transplant or through, of course, through medicines, because the medicines are expensive. The disease is such. So it is like that.
आपकी बातों से पता है मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि फाइनेंस वही होता है ना कि सीनियर डॉक्टर से बात करते हो वो कहते हैं कि पैसा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, स्किल इंपॉर्टेंट है। यंग डॉक्टर से बात करते हैं वो कहते हैं पैसा इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो दोनों में इतना फ़र्क क्यों है?
दोनों में इतना फ़र्क है बिकॉज जो सीनियर डॉक्टर्स हैं हु आर 20-30 years into the profession, they have money, so they can say that money is not important. So at a point in time I used to be a fan of Shah Rukh Khan. I am no longer his fan, but I like him as a human being. I don't like him as an actor. But he said it that first become rich, then become a philosopher. Do whatever it takes to become rich and then become a philosopher. So your senior doctors, the one that you are referring to, they are now philosophers because they are rich. When they were young, they were not philosophers. And I would say 90% of them are still not philosophers. They pretend to be, but they are not. It is a money game for them also. If they are so unaffected, or if they are so detached from money, why work in a corporate hospital? Go to a government hospital. Do work and do charity. See 1,000 patients for free if money is not important. Retire. आप 65 साल के हो गए हो, आप बोल रहे हो पैसे इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, आप सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में जाओ, आप प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में जाओ, आप पढ़ाओ, 3 से 5 लाख रुपए की नौकरी करो। कौन कह रहा है आपको आप 15 लाख 20 लाख कमाओ हर महीने? You cannot, you have to practice what you preach. You cannot drive a fancy car, live in a fancy bungalow, appear a certain way, and live a life which is not in congruence with what you're saying. सबको समझ आ जाएगा. You are selling a lie. Don't sell a lie. At least not to the current generation because they're very smart.
एक और प्रॉब्लम है, मतलब ऑडियंस जो मुझे हमेशा कहती है ना कि कोई यंग डॉक्टर है तो उनसे पूछो कि हाउ टू मैनेज देयर फाइनेंसेस, जो स्ट्रगल होती है।
You should be able to give a podcast on that independently. You don't need me to say it.
नहीं, ऐसा, you are a practicing doctor, right?
Yeah.
All right. Like आपकी एक अपनी जर्नी रही है, you have started from scratch. Of course, धीरे धीरे ग्रोथ होती है ना, तो उस टाइम पे what are the ways where you learned financial literacy? हर बंदा गलती तो करते ही है कभी ना कभी, हमने भी करी है, आपने भी कभी ना कभी करी होगी। फिर लोग बताते हैं कि नहीं बेटा ऐसे नहीं तो ऐसा कर ले, एंड वी लर्न। तो आपने क्या चीज़ ऐसे सीखी, कोई गलती आपने करी हो, एंड कैसे आपने बेसिकली ग्रो किया, थोड़ा फाइनेंसेस को मैनेज किया धीरे धीरे?
आई वुड से Dr. Nachiket that I am still not financially the most prudent person, and not the best person to give this advice. But a lot of
we are not asking for advice.
Yeah, a lot of young female doctors would be able to relate to this with me. Not males, because males are more financially prudent. ऐसा होता है that for a female doctor, financial independence, once they start earning their own money, अब वो internship में हो, MD में हो, DM में हो, is a big thing. It's a big driver, like a big motivator, because you've been dependent all along on family, and for some, unfortunately, they become dependent on their husbands. जो मेरे जैसे फीमेल डॉक्टर्स होंगे एटलीस्ट, financial independence is so important because it allows you to make certain difficult decisions in life where you are not being governed by your parents, by your, if you're married, husband, by anybody. If you have made financially prudent choices in life. If I could go back, I would say that I started investing into equity very late because I come from a traditional middle class family where PPF, FD were the norms. You know, so वो सब था, बट इक्विटी की नॉलेज नहीं थी, इन्वेस्टमेंट की नॉलेज नहीं थी, म्यूचुअल फंड्स की नॉलेज नहीं थी, वो अभी भी नहीं है उतनी, बट यू नो आई कैन हायर समबडी नाउ टू डू इट फॉर मी एंड आई शुड. I'd rather give this time to developing my skill and generating principal amount. Then whatever interest it has to generate, I can pay somebody a measly amount to do it for me. But for female doctors, I would say especially, The minute you start earning your first paycheck in MD, the real paycheck in MD, you should put away at least 20-30% of it into equity, not into FD, not into PPF, not into Sukanya Samriddhi, not into any other scheme, but just into equity. If you don't know where to put it, get into a flexi cap mutual fund, which will do most of the work for you. Even if you have to pay 1% of whatever you accrue over the next couple of years to the manager, to the fund manager, pay it. It's a very small price to pay. But at least if you're earning 10,000, 3,000 of it should go into equity. तुम अपने खर्चे 7,000 रुपए में चलाओ. But 3,000, this was going to give you so much independence and so much confidence in the long run. I started investing very late because I wanted to lead an aspirational life. I wanted all the things for myself. So when I got the first paycheck, I bought all the things that I thought money could buy, and I thought this will give me happiness because everybody around me was buying things. That was a wrong thing to do. I should have saved and I should have invested, and I would have been much more financially free, not independent, free. I started investing in DM. So it was like, and with investing, the thing is compounding. Compounding takes time. So the later you start, the bigger the problem it is. This is something I learned in my residency in Ahmedabad. वहाँ पे 8-8 साल के बच्चे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे होते हैं पैसे. उनके पास 1-2 CR का पोर्टफोलियो होता है by the time they are touching DM. With what? With their earnings from from what they get as pocket money, birthday gifts, Diwali gifts, then internship salary, then MD salary. That habit of taking a little bit out of your main sum, principal sum, abhi you live like a pauper, so that in the future you are able to live like a king. Money gives you time to do things you want to do. That is the goal. So if you have to give yourself a little money, basically you're paying yourself. वो 3,000 रुपये आप आपको पे कर रहे हो अपनी फ्यूचर सेल्फ को, वो 30% जो आप बचा रहे हो. That would be my advice. Start investing early. The first salary you get, internship, MD, it should be discipline. 30% gets invested. Learn to live within the 70%. If you learn that, you will have so much money by the principle of compounding, and you will have so much freedom so soon, and you will stop cribbing about what you're making as a principal amount, because you will be earning passively. So I think that would be my 2 cents on it.
इतना अच्छा तो बताया आपने.
Thank you.
So before we get onto the rapid fire, the last question is, what were the challenges you faced in this branch, medicine, in broad aspect, for being a woman?
Oh, that I still face every day. So it is tough, yaar. I'll be very honest. Abhi kisi ko bura lagta hai to bura lage, but it is tough being a woman in medicine. There are so many gender biases. As a gender only, you're seen as a weaker gender. Ye people perception hai. She's weaker. She won't be able to do the work. She won't be able to do the duty. ये नहीं कर पाएगी. 48 घंटे, 72 घंटे, जितने भी घंटे हैं, नाइट ड्यूटीज नहीं हो पाएंगी, emergency duties नहीं हो पाएंगी. And second is that this person, when you go into real world practice, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती है that with your seniors, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती है that ये भाग she will go on a maternity leave. She'll have a family to tend to. She'll have responsibilities. She won't be professionally as good as a man would be, because she would have to give time to her personal life, to the child, etc. I am saying this very, very honestly. There is a lot of bias. Then patient side se ye aata hai that I think there is an inherent bias in the minds of people, especially in this country, that women in medicine, specifically in medical specialities, are not as good as men are. They are not as competent, they are not as aggressive, they are not as experienced. I would say that is changing. I see that especially with my younger patients. They are very comfortable with me. They have no problem with my age. In fact, they prefer a younger doctor than an senior doctor, because they're able to, open up and relate more. But with some people, with some patients, it is challenging. This is particularly with middle-aged elderly patients, I would say. They find it difficult to relate to a young female doctor. They do. वो उनके पार्ट की रेजिस्टेंस है, उनकी अपब्रिंगिंग है, ट्रेडिशनल अपब्रिंगिंग है. जस्ट पुराने ज़माने में डॉक्टर्स ही मेल डॉक्टर्स होते थे. तो यू नो इट इज़ लाइक एन एंटायर पूरा सिस्टम रिफर्बिश और रीसेट होता है. So for female doctors, for female medical specialists, it is much more difficult than it is for male specialists. And the problem increases if you are married and if you have a child, because वो तो यार obligatory है. That time you have to give. तो वो time कहीं ना कहीं से तो आएगा. So you have to cut back on your professional commitments. So you're feeling, like professionally also you're not satisfied, personally you're also not satisfied. It's like a huge game going on in your mind. You don't know, you're failing. You feel like you're failing at all fronts. यहाँ पे भी नहीं हो पा रहा, यहाँ पे भी नहीं हो पा रहा, यहाँ पे भी नहीं हो पा रहा, क्या करना है? And I think it's a little more difficult for women, little more. So you have to make that choice. क्या करना है? Decide.
Let's play the rapid fire round now.
Yeah.
बहुत simple है. So you have to be super spontaneous.
Okay.
And super truthful.
Truthful?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've been very truthful.
Well, I can't complain on that at all. Comfort food you can never say no to.
Comfort food, momos, chicken momos.
Steamed or tandoori?
Gee, steamed, no tandoori nonsense.
One thing you can't start your day without?
Can't start my day without, the first thing that when I get up is think about my mom and dad. Can't start my day without that.
One opportunity you regret not taking?
Choosing psychiatry in MD.
Okay, rank honestly. Family, friends, career, health, love.
What if you love your family and friends? What then?
इतना तो नहीं पता मुझे.
So okay, if I have to rank, love, career, health, friends and family.
Family last.
So some people that I love are a part of my family, and I am very upfront. Extended family is extended family, not family. बहुत कम लोग खड़े होते हैं फैमिली में आपके साथ जब आप अकेले होते हो. उस इंसान से आप प्यार करते हो. वो प्यार, इट इज़ नॉट रोमांटिक लव. लव कम्स फर्स्ट. सो पीपल आई लव आर फ्रेंड्स, सम फ्रेंड्स इन सम फैमिली, बट इन जनरल एवरीबडी एल्स इज एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली एंड दे रिमेन ऑन द पेरिफेरी.
अगेन अ वेरी ऑनेस्ट आंसर. वो रील्स आती है ना कि तुम्हें परिवार की, तुम्हें अपने मम्मी की साइड के पसंद है कि पापा की साइड के पसंद है, कि भाई मुझे कोई पसंद नहीं, रिश्तेदार ही नहीं पसंद.
एग्जैक्टली. बट दिस इज ट्रू. लोग बोल नहीं सकते, ये उनकी फटती है बोलने में. पीपल कैन नॉट से इट बिकॉज बुरा लग जाएगा. हाउ व्हाट विल द वर्ल्ड थिंक? बट दिस इज द ट्रूथ
कि मुझे रिश्तेदार ही पसंद नहीं है. वन थिंग यू ऑलवेज से yes to.
Always say yes to. I have a problem with saying no, but something that I always say yes to, I would always say yes for coffee.
Netflix favorite series?
Maid. And have you seen Adolescence? It's a short series that came on Netflix.
On that, इसमें एक घंटे का एक ही. Yes.
Single shot. Yeah.
Yes.
Adolescence.
I started. I found just very slow लगा. काफी slow लगा था मुझे वो.
Adolescence.
Yeah.
Watch it. Just watch it beyond the first episode. You will love it.
I've heard praises about that show.
Just thoda sa have patience. Just go beyond the first episode. You will love it.
Your happiest moment in your life?
When I cleared my MD in medicine, my Mausi was there. I am the closest in the world to my Mausi. When she was there, only she was there and I was there when we saw the result. वो loading हो रहा था. जब वो आया तो मुझे पता था मुझे MD मेडिसिन मिल जाएगी. वो मेरा ड्रीम था, मुझे मिल गई. एंड जस्ट द जॉय इन हर आईज, happiest moment of my life.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sanskriti, for being on our show.
Thank you.
You have been a wonderful guest, a very honest guest, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's show. We have discussed every point which our audience requested for. A young doctor's struggle against toxicity, against the culture, being a woman and facing those problems, financial literacy, and the whole medicine in and out. Thank you so much for watching today's show. Do list out who do you want as our next guest. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, and God bless you.